Hello, my friends. Hello, and welcome once again to Stately Vaughan Manor, where Roger and I have returned with just a quick little video today, which is in response to a video that I saw yesterday from the great Randy Ray, the literate Texan, a fantastic channel that you should all subscribe to because it's fantastic and amazing, and anything Randy does is really worth watching. And he made a video yesterday that was really good. It was called 10 Tips to Become a Better Reader or something like that. Something along those lines. I'll link it down below because it's a really good video. And it's one of those videos where even if not all of the 10 tips work for you, actually it was 11. Randy Ray, he can't count all that well. Even if all the tips don't work for you, you will probably find some tips that will. So it was a really good video. But there was one tip that kind of made me think. And the tip was appreciating books as physical objects. Which I do. But it made me wonder because it was in this video about becoming 10 tips to help you become a better reader. And it made me think, here his tip is, you appreciate books as physical objects. And one of the things that he was talking about is that he mentioned, he was hospitalized not too long ago, and he was reading his Kindle. He was forced to read his e-reader. And one of the things that bothered him about the e-reader is the sameness of everything, All the books look the same. They all have the same font, although I guess you could change the font from book to book if you really wanted to. But it's the same experience reading any book that you read on an e-reader. Whereas physical books, there's an awful wide variety of the kinds of books that you can pick up and read. And Randy thinks that the physical book itself, the experience of reading a physical book, because, they can be such beautiful things, that actually will make you a better reader. And I'm wondering if this is true, because this is a claim I'm skeptical of. And one of the things that this made me think of was not too long ago, I was looking for my copy of The Fisherman by John Langham, which is a horror novel, which I like a lot. And I've only read it once. And I thought it was fantastic. And I heard somebody made a video about it recently, and I thought, I need to find that book. So I was looking all around the manor. Where did I put my copy of The Fisherman? Because I wanted to read it again, give it another look. And I searched high and low in the manor, and I couldn't find it. And then I realized that I don't have a copy of The Fisherman. I have an ebook copy of The Fisherman. I have it on my Kindle. And that's how I read it. But it had been a couple years since I've read it. And I forgot that I had read it on my Kindle. And this has happened before, where I've looked for books that I had read before, and actually I had read them on my e-reader, because I've read hundreds of books as ebooks. And this book, like a lot of books that I've read on my e-reader, I remember perfectly well. And I remember how much I enjoyed reading it. It was such an interesting, engaging experience reading the book. And I remember the story perfectly. But for some reason, I didn't remember how I had read it. In my mind, I had read it as a paperback when I had not. And like I said, this has happened before with other books where I'll go searching around for the book. Oh, I read that as an ebook. And so I don't think that this tip, appreciating books as physical objects, is true for me. I think it's true for Randy. I think it's true probably for many people. But I wonder if overall, as far as the general readership, the people who read, I wonder if it would be true for them, because I think of a lot of booktubers who are the only people I really know who actually read. In my personal life, there's not too many people who actually read, at least not as much as I do. On BookTube, yes. And the people on BookTube who I know who actually read, like Greg at another bibliophile reads, MJ, Ollie at Criminali, they all read a lot of ebooks. And I think there are a lot of people who prefer to read ebooks. And I think there are a lot of people who read more because ebooks exist. It just is a handy way to carry around a gazillion books, and it just seems convenient for a lot of people. But it made me think about books and the formats of books and what books actually are. And can physical books, the physicality of a book, can that actually improve the reading experience enough that you could actually become a better reader? And it made me think of that. And so it made me think of formats. Like, this is one of my favorite books. This is Dracula. This is my favorite copy of Dracula. This is my favorite physical copy of Dracula because it's a mass market paperback, which is my favorite format, actually. You wouldn't know it from, my bookcase, but this is actually probably my favorite format of book. It shouldn't be, because, it's a cheap paperback, but it is, actually. And this is my favorite copy of Dracula. But of course, I have to have an ostentatiously overpriced Fancy Pants edition of Dracula. This is the Eastern Press Fancy Pants edition of Dracula, which is very nice and beautiful. Yeah, see, there. It's a lovely book, beautifully printed, has wonderful illustrations hidden away where you can't find them when you're looking for them, but they're in there. And, so this is a very fancy edition of Dracula. And to go to the cheapest possible version of Dracula, here is my e-reader. So this is my cheap version of Dracula for my e-reader that I got when I first started reading ebooks. So this is very old. And it was just free. It was just a free copy of Dracula. The cheapest version you can get. But all three of these books are all... Man, I'm a professional. All three of these books are Dracula. The words are the same. They're exactly the same. And that is what a book is, I think, to me. It's the words, right? And it doesn't matter to me, really, whether the book is an ebook or a paperback or a hardcover or even an audiobook. I personally am not big on audiobooks, but Dracula as an audiobook is Dracula. The words are the same. And that is what a book is. It's the text to the book. It's not the format. It's not the delivery system, if you will. And I realize that for some people, that makes a difference. How they read the book makes a pretty big difference. But I wonder if overall, for most readers, whether it does. I think for me, as much as I love physical books, I don't think it really does matter. I don't think the format of a book, how I read it, I mean, unless the copy is just terrible and, you can't read it for some reason. But if it's a readable copy, whatever format it might be, I'm not sure it makes that much of a difference as far as the reading experience. And I pretty much know this because I read books and I look back on them and I can remember them perfectly, but I can't always remember the format that I read them in. And I really think that a lot of people have become better readers probably because of ebooks. because they can read more and it's more comfortable for some people. And the specific advantages to ebooks and e-readers, I think have been very helpful for a lot of people who read. And so I think the physicality of a book, appreciating books as physical objects, that's something only readers probably will really do. But I don't think, personally, I don't think that it necessarily makes you a better reader. Like I said, I'm not saying Randy is wrong, because I think this is true for Randy, and I think it's probably true for a lot of people. But overall, I'm not sure that it is. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Tell me, for you, does it matter? Do you think the format of the book makes a difference? And do you think appreciating a book as a physical object could actually make you a better reader? It's an interesting question. It made me think, as the best booktube videos do, and Randy's video is fantastic. So again, I've linked it down below. You should watch it. And I will shut up now, Roger. I will stop pondering. I will catch you next time.